DPS is an abbreviation for Device Port System. Therefore, each device you declare in Define Device will have a unique identifier based on the combined values of its device, port, and system number. Let's start with the D in DPS, the device number. There's a standard of device numbering for all devices you may want to control, regardless of what AMX interface is being used to communicate to that device. To define what values are used for specific devices, let's just start at 0 and work our way up the list. As you may already know, the Netlink's master's device number is always 0. Therefore, that value is reserved for only Netlink's masters. This is true regardless of what AMX product that master is contained within, so it doesn't matter if that master is inside a DVX, DGX, or NX series master controller. Never attempt to change the device number of the master. It should always be 0. Next in the list, we have a range of device numbers set aside for AxLink devices. All AxLink device numbers must be in the range of 1 through 255. This numbering range is used due to the 8-bit binary addressing used for setting the device number. As an example, all AxLink keypads ship with an address of 85. One important note about AxLink devices is that each device attached to a single master must have a unique device number, i.e., you could only ever have one device 85 on a single Netlink's master. Consequently, there can never be more than 255 AxLink devices connected to one master. Here are some examples of devices which use AxLink: AXB DMX512, ENV VST, MET6N keypad, and the AMX PDU. After the 1 through 255 range, we skip a few values and come to the Netlink's cards in card frames. While these devices have been discontinued, it is entirely possible you may see these in the field, particularly if working in large-scale installations where card frames were most popular. The valid range reserved for these cards is 301 through 3072. If using any of the NXC cards, each card will be assigned a unique device number in the above range. Moving on, we have the 5001 device number, which is reserved for the Netlink's integrated controller. Current models which contain an onboard controller include all of the NX series integrated controllers and any of the Innova DVX all-in-one presentation switchers. Moving up the list numerically, we have the 5002 device number, which is reserved for the integrated switcher, which is found in the Innova DVX and DGX products. Next is the range of 5003 through 10,000. This range is reserved for DXLink transmitters, receivers, and EXB expansion boxes. While it's possible to assign any of the above numbers as the device number for any of these devices, programmers are encouraged to follow the AMX standards as follows. EXB boxes start at 5101 and go through 5164. DXLink transmitters go from 5301 to 5364. And DXLink receivers use 5401 to 5464. Device numbers from 7000 through 8000 are reserved for legacy devices. Next up is the range of 8001 through 10,000, which is used for native Netlink's IP devices such as the Masio MKP series keypads or the Zigbee Pro gateway. The next available device number is 10,001, which is the recommended starting address for touch panels. To most closely follow the AMX numbering standards, in-room touch panels should start at 10,001, while scheduling panels would start at 10,101. And AMX digital signage players would start at 20,001. The range for this category is 32,000. This is also the maximum value for any physical device. Next in line, we have the range of dynamic devices, which go from 32,001 through 32,767. Dynamic devices are items which could be hardware or software whose device numbers are automatically assigned by NetLink Studio. From 32,768 to 36,864 are the user-defined NetLink's virtual devices. Please note here that standard practice amongst programmers is to start virtual devices at 33,001. Values between 32,768 and 33,000 are typically not used. The range of 36,865 to 37,864 is reserved for dynamic virtual devices. 37,865 through 40,999 is the convention to be used when programming a virtual device through a NetLink's module. You'll learn more about the various virtual devices in a later tutorial. The highest device numbers you will encounter is the range of duet virtual devices. That range is from 41,001 to 42,000. Duet virtual devices are specifically used to interface with a module file that was created in either Cafe Duet or driver design software. More on these later. The final set of device numbers I want to talk about are IP devices. More and more devices these days are controlled over IP. But how do we reference a third-party IP device in our code? For instance, we might have a projector in a conference room that is connected to our network. Instead of running an RS-232 cable to the projector, let's simply control it over the network. Therefore, any and all IP devices will have a device number of 0. Now that we learned about the D in DPS, let's move on to the next part, the P.